Proceed, Sir Linus, to procure my fall, and by the doom of death end woes and all.
Merchant of Syracusa, plead no more. I'm not partial to infringe our laws. The enmity and discord which have late sprung from the rancorous outrage of your Duke, the merchants, are our well-dealing countrymen, who, wanting guilders to redeem their lives, have sealed his rigorous statutes with their bloods. Yeah. It excludes all pity from our threatening looks. Right. For since the mortal and intestine jars twixt thy seditious countrymen and us, it hath in solemn synods been decreed both by the Syracusans and ourselves to admit no traffic to our adverse towns. Yeah. If any born at Ephesus be seen at any Syracusan marts and fairs, again, if any Syracusan born come to the bay of Ephesus, he dies. Kill him. His goods confiscate to the Duke's dispose unless 1,000 marks be levied to quit the penalty and to ransom him. And thy substance valued at the highest rate cannot amount unto 100 marks. So therefore, by law, thou art condemned to die.
Yet this my comfort. When your words are done, my woes end likewise with the evening sun.
Well, Syracusan, say in brief the cause why thou departedst from thy native home, and for what cause thou camest to Ephesus.
A heavier task could not have been imposed than I to speak my griefs unspeakable. Yet that the world may witness that my end was wrought by nature, not by vile offence, I'll utter what my sorrow gives me leave. In Syracusa was I born, and wed unto a woman happy but for me, and by me had not our hap been bad. With her I lived in joy. Our wealth increased by prosperous voyages I often made to Epidamnum, till my factor's death and the great care of goods at random left drew me from kind embracements of my spouse, from whom my absence was not 6 months old before herself, almost at fainting before the pleasing pressures that women bear, had made arrangements for her following me, and soon and safe arrived where I was. There had she not been long, but she became the joyful mother to 2 goodly sons, and which was more, the one so like the other as could not be distinguished but by names. That very hour, and in the self-same inn, a meaner woman was delivered of such a burden, male twins, both alike.
Lies.
Those, for their parents were exceeding poor, I bought and brought to attend up my sons. My wife, not meanly proud of two such boys, made daily motions for our home return. Alas, unwilling, I agreed. Alas, too soon we came aboard. A league from Epidamnum had we sailed before the always wind-obeying deep gave any tragic instance of our harm. But longer could we not retain much hope, for what obscured light the heavens did grant did but convey unto our fearful minds a doubtful warrant of immediate death, which though myself would gladly have embraced, the incessant weepings of my wife, weeping before for what she saw must come, and the incessant pleadings of the pretty babes who mourned for fashion, ignorant what to fear, forced me to seek delays for them and me. And this it was. For other means were none. The sailors had sought for safety by our boat and left the ship still sinking right to us. My wife, more careful for the latter born, had fastened him to a small spare mast, such as seafaring men provide for storms. To him one of the other twins were bound, while I had been like heedful of the others. My wife and I, fixing our eyes on whom our care was fixed, fastened ourselves at either end the mast, and floating straight, obedient to the stream, was carried toward Corinth, as we thought. At length the sun, gazing upon the earth, dispersed the vapours that offended us, and with the benefit of his wished light the seas waxed calm, and we discovered two ships from far making amain to us, of Corinth this, of Epidaurus that. But ere they came, let me say no more. Gather the sequel by that went before.
Nay, forward, old man, do not break off so, for we may pity, though not pardon thee.
Oh, had the gods done so, I had not now worthily termed them merciless to us. For ere the ships could meet by twice 5 leagues, we were encountered by a mighty rock, which being violently borne upon, our helpful ship was splitted in the midst, so that by this unjust divorce of us, fortune had left to both of us alike what to delight in, what to sorrow for. Her part, poor soul, seeming as burdened with lesser weight, but not with lesser woe, was carried with more speed before the wind. And in our sight they three were taken up by fishermen of Corinth, as we thought. At length another ship had seized on us, and knowing whom it was they happed to save, gave healthful welcome to their shipwrecked friends, and would have reft the fishers of their prey, had not their barge been very slow of sail, and therefore homeward did they bend their course. Thus have you heard me severed from my bliss, that by misfortunes was my life prolonged to tell sad stories of my own mishaps.
And for the sake of them thou sorrowest for, you do me the favour to dilate at full what hath befallen of them and thee till now?
My youngest boy, but yet my eldest care, at 18 years became inquisitive after his brother, and importuned me that his attendant, or such his case was like, reft of his brother but retained his name, might bear him company in the quest of him, whom though I laboured of a love to see, I hazarded the loss of him I loved. 5 summers have I spent in farthest Greece, wandering clean through the bounds of Asia, and coasting homeward, came to Ephesus, hopeless to find, but loath to leave unsought, or that, or any place that harbours men. But here must end the story of my life. And happy were I in my timely death, could all my travels warrant me they live.
Hapless Aegean,
Oh my God.
whom the fates have marked to bear the extremity of dire mishap. Now trust me, were it not against our laws, against my crown, my oath, and my dignity, which princes would they may not disannul, my soul would sue as advocate for thee. But though thou art adjudged to the death, the passed sentence may not be recalled, but to our honour's great disparagement, yet will I favour thee in what I can. But therefore, merchant, I'll limit thee this day, to seek thy health by beneficial help. Try all the friends thou hast in Ephesus. Beg thou or borrow to make up the sum, and live. And if not, then thou art doomed to die. Jailer, take him to thy custody.
I will, my lord.
Hopeless and helpless doth Aegean wend, but to procrastinate his lifeless end.
Therefore, give out you are of Epidamnum, lest that your goods too soon be confiscate. This very day, a Syracusan merchant is apprehended for arrival here, and not being able to buy out his life according to the statute of the town, dies ere the weary sun set in the west. There is your money that I had to keep.
Go bear it to the Centaur, where we host. And stay there, Dromio, till I come to thee. Within this hour, it will be dinner time. Till that, I'll view the manners of the town, peruse the traders, gaze upon the buildings, and then return and sleep within mine inn. For with long travel, I am stiff and weary. Get thee away.
Many a man would take you at your word, and go indeed, having so good a mien.
Trusty villain, sir, that very oft when I am dull with care and melancholy lightens my humour with his merry jests. What, will you walk with me about the town and then go to my inn and dine with me?
I am invited, sir, to certain merchants of whom I hope to make much benefit. I crave your pardon. Soon at 5 o'clock, please you, I'll meet with you upon the mart and afterwards consort you till bedtime. My present business calls me from you now.
Well, farewell till then. I will go lose myself and wander up and down to view the city.
Sir, I commend you to your own content.
He that commends me to mine own content commends me to the thing I cannot get. I to the world am like a drop of water that in the ocean seeks another drop, who falling there to find his fellow forth, unseen, inquisitive, confounds himself. So I, to find a mother and a brother, in quest of them unhappy, lose myself. Well, here comes the almanac and my true date. What now? How chance do I return so soon?
Returned so soon? Rather approached too late. The capon burns, the pig falls from the spit, the clock have struck it 12 upon the bell. And my mistress made it one upon my cheek. She is so hot because the meat is cold. The meat is cold because you come not home. You come not home because you have no stomach. You have no stomach, having broke your fast. But we, that know what 'tis to fast and pray, are penitent for your default today.
Stop on your wind, sir. Tell me this, I pray. Where have you left the money that I gave you?
What? 6 pence that I had on Wednesday last to pay the saddler for my mistress' crupper. The saddler had it, sir. I kept it not.
I am not in a sportive humour now. Tell me and dally not. Where is the money? We being strangers here, how darest thou trust so great a charge from thine own custody?
I pray you, jest, sir, as you sit at dinner. I from my mistress come to you in post. If I return, I shall be post indeed, for she will score your fault upon my pate. Methinks you're more like mine should be your clock and strike you home without a messenger.
Come, Dromio, come. These jests are out of season. Reserve them till a merrier hour than this. Where is the gold I gave in charge to thee?
To me, sir. Why, you gave no gold to me.
Oh, come on, sir knave, I've done your foolishness, and tell me how thou hast disposed thy charge.
My charge was but to fetch you from the mart, home to your house, the Phoenix, sir, to dinner. My mistress and her sister stays for you.
Now, as I'm a Christian, answer me. In what safe place you have bestowed my money? Or I shall break that merry sconce of yours that stands on tricks when I am undisposed. Where is the 1,000 marks thou hadst of me?
I have some marks of yours upon my pate, sir. Some of my mistress' marks upon my shoulders, but not 1,000 marks between you both. If I should pay your worship those again, perchance you will not bear them patiently.
Thy mistress, Marks? What mistress, slave, hast thou?
Your worship's wife?
Ah!
My mistress at the Phoenix, she that doth fast till you come home to dinner, and prays that you will hie you home to dinner.
What? Wilt thou flout me thus into my face, being forbid? There! Take you that, sir knave!
What mean you, sir?
Ah!
For God's sake, hold your hands!
Oh!
Nay, you will not! Oh! I'll take my heels!
Oh! Oh!
Here!
Ah! 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 I am so sorry. Upon my life, by some device or other, the villain is o'erwrought of all my money. They say this town is full of cozenage, as nimble jugglers that deceive the eye, dark-working sorcerers that change the mind, soul-killing witches that deform the body, disguised cheaters, prating mountebanks, and many such like liberties of sin. If it proves so, I'll be gone the sooner. I'll tell the centaur to go seek this slave. I greatly fear my money is not safe.
Returned, that in such haste I sent to seek his master. Sure, Luciana, it is 2 o'clock.
Perhaps some merchant hath invited him, and from the mart he's somewhere gone to dinner. Good sister, let us dine, and never fret. A man is master of his liberty. Time is their master, and when they see time, they'll go or come. If so, be patient, sister.
Why should their liberty than ours be more?
Because their business still lies out of door.
Look, when I serve him so, he takes it ill.
Oh, no, he is the bridle of your will.
There's none but asses will be bridled so.
Why, headstrong liberty is lashed with woe. There's nothing situate under heaven's eye but hath his bound, in earth, in sea, in sky. The beasts, the fishes, and the winged fowls are their males' subjects, and at their controls. Man, more divine, the master of all these, lord of the wide world and wild watery seas, endued with intellectual sense and souls, of more preeminence than fish and fowls, masters to their females, and their lords. Then let your will attend on their accord.
This servitude makes you to keep unwed.
Not this, but troubles of the marriage bed.
But were you wedded, you would bear some sway.
Ere I learn love, I'll practice to obey.
How? If your husband starts some other where?
Till he come home again, I would forbear.
Patience unmoved. No marvel though she pause, they can be meek that have no other cause. A wretched soul, bruised with adversity, we bid be quiet when we hear it cry. But were we burdened with like weight of pain as much or more, we should ourselves complain. So thou, that hast no unkind mate to grieve thee, with urging helpless patience would relieve me. But if thou live to see like right bereft, this fool-begged patience in thee will be left.
Well, I will marry one day, but to try. Here comes your man. Now is your husband nigh.
Say, is your tardy master now at hand?
Nay, he's at 2 hands with me, and that my 2 ears can witness.
Say, didst thou speak with him? Knowest thou his mind?
Aye, he told his mind upon my ear. Beshrew his hands, I scarce could understand it.
Spake he so doubtfully thou couldst not feel his meaning?
Nay, he struck so plainly I could too well feel his blows, and withal so doubtfully I scarce could understand them.
But say, I prithee, is he coming home? It seems he hath great care to please his wife.
Why, mistress, sure, my master is horn mad.
Horn mad, thou villain!
I mean not cuckold mad! But sure he is stark mad. When I desired him to come home to dinner, he asked me for 1,000 marks in gold.
'Tis dinner time, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Your meat doth burn, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Will you come home, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Where is the 1,000 marks I gave thee, villain? The pig, quoth I, is burned. My gold, quoth he. My mistress, sir, quoth I. Hang up thy mistress. I know not thy mistress. Out on thy mistress.
Quoth who?
Quoth my master. I know, quoth he, no house, no wife, no mistress. So that my errand, due unto my tongue, I thank him, I bear home upon my shoulders. For in conclusion, he did beat me there.
Go back again, thou slave, and fetch him home.
Go back again and be new beaten home? Oh, for God's sake, send some other messenger.
Back, slave, or I will break thy pate across.
And he will bless that cross with other beating. Between you, I shall have a holy head.
Oh, my God! Head, breaking peasant, fetch thy master home!
Am I so round with you as you with me, that like a football you do spurn me thus? You spurn me hence, and he will spurn me hither. If I last in this service, you must case me in leather.
How impatience loureth in your face.
So his company must do his minions grace, whilst I at home starve for a merry look. I mean, what homely age the alluring beauty took from my poor cheek, then he hath wasted it. Are my discourses dull, barren my wit? If voluble and sharp discourse be marred, unkindness blunts it more than marble hard. But do their gay vestments his affections bait? That's not my fault, he's master of my state. What ruins are in me that can be found by him not ruined? Then is he the ground of my defeatures? My decayed fair, the sunny look of his would soon repair. But to unruly deer he breaks the pale and feeds from home. Poor I am but his stale.
Self-harming jealousy! Fie, beat it hence!
Oh, unfeeling fools can with such wrongs dispense. I know his eye doth homage otherwhere, or else what lets him but he would be here. Sister? Sorry. You know he promised me a chain. Would that alone a toy he would detain, so he would keep fair quarter with his bed. I see the jewel best in amulet will lose his beauty, yet the gold bides still that others touch. But often touching will wear gold, and no man that hath a name but falsehood and corruption doth it shame. Since that my beauty cannot please his eye, I'll weep what's left away, and weeping die.
How many fond fools serve mad jealousy?
The gold I gave to Dromio is laid up safe at the Centaur. And the heedful slave has wandered forth in care to seek me out, by computation and mine host's report. I could not speak with Dromio since at first I sent him from the mart. See, here he comes. How now, sir? Is your merry humour altered? As you love strokes, so jest with me again. You know no centaur. You received no gold. Your mistress sent to have me home to dinner. My house was at the Phoenix. Wast thou mad, that thou so madly thou didst answer me?
What answer, sir? When spake I such a word?
Even now, even here, not half an hour since.
I did not see you since you sent me hence home to the centaur with the gold you gave me.
Villain, thou didst deny the gold's receipt, and told me of a mistress and a dinner, for which I hope thou felt'st I was displeased.
I am glad to see you in this merry vein. What means this jest, I pray you, master, tell me?
Yeah. Dost thou jeer and flout me in the teeth? Think'st thou I jest? Hold! Take down that!
For God's sake, now your jest is earnest. Upon what bargain do you give it me?
Because that I familiarly sometimes to use you for my fool and chat with you, your sauciness will jest upon my love and make a common of my serious hours. When the sun shines, let foolish gnats make sport, but creep in crannies when he hides his beams. If you will jest with me, know my aspect, and fashion your demeanour to my looks, or I will beat this method in your sconce.
Sconce, call you it? So you would leave battering, I would rather have it ahead. When you use these blows long, I must get a sconce for my head, and then sconce it too, else I shall seek my wit in my shoulders. But I pray, sir, why am I beaten?
Dost thou not know?
Nothing, sir, but that I am beaten.
Shall I tell you why?
Aye, sir, and wherefore? For they say every why hath a wherefore.
Why, first, for flouting me, and then wherefore for urging it the second time to me.
Was there ever any man thus beaten out of season, when in the why and the wherefore is neither rhyme nor reason? Well, sir, I thank you.
Thank me, sir, for what?
Marry, sir, for that something you gave me for nothing.
I'll make you amends next, to give you nothing for something. Oh. But say, sir, is that dinner time?
No! I think the meat wants that I have.
In good time, sir, what's that?
Basting.
Well, sir, then 'twill be dry.
If it be, sir, I pray you eat none of it.
Your reason?
Lest it make you choleric and purchase me another dry basting.
Well, sir, learn to jest in good time. There's a time for all things.
I durst have denied that before you were so choleric.
By what rule, sir?
Marry, sir, by a rule. As plain as the plain, bald pate of Father Time himself.
Let's hear it.
There's no time for a man to recover his hair that grows bald by nature.
May he not do it by fine and recovery?
Oh, yes, to pay a fine for a periwig and recover the lost hair of another man.
Why is time such a niggard of hair, being that it is so plentiful in excrement?
Because it is a blessing that he bestows on beasts, and what he has scanted men in hair, he hath given them in wit.
Why, but there's many a man hath more hair than wit.
But not a man of those, but he hath the wit to lose his hair.
But thou didst conclude hairy men plain dealers without wit.
But the plainer dealer, the sooner lost. Yet he loseth it in a kind of jollity.
For what reason?
For two, and sound ones too.
Nay, not sound, I pray you.
Sure ones then.
Not sure anything false.
Certain ones then.
Name them.
The one, to save the money that he spends in tiring. The other, that at dinner they should not drop in his porridge.
You would all this time have proved there is no time for all things.
Marion did so, namely, even no time to recover hair lost by nature.
But your reason was not substantial. Why there is no time to recover?
Thus I mend it. Time himself is bald. And therefore, to the world's end, we'll have bald followers.
I knew 'twould be a bald conclusion. But soft, who wafts us yonder?
Aye, Antipholus, and look strange and frown. Some other mistress hath thy sweet aspects. I am not Adriana, nor thy wife. The time was once when thou, unurged, wouldst vow that never words were music to thine ear, that never object pleasing in thine eye, that never touch welcome to thy hand, that never meat sweet savoured in thy taste unless I spake or looked or touched or carved to thee. How comes it now, my husband? Oh, how comes it that thou art then estranged from thyself? I call it being strange to me, that undividable, incorporate, and better than thy dear self's better part. Oh, do not tear away thyself from me, for no, my love, as easy mayst thou fall a drop of water in the breaking gulf, and take unmingled thence that drop again without addition or diminishing, as take from me thyself and not me too. How dearly would it touch thee to the quick, shouldst thou but hear I were licentious, and that this body consecrate to thee by ruffian lust should be contaminate. Wouldst thou not spit at me, and spurn at me, and hurl the name of husband in my face, and tear the stained skin off my harlot brow, and from my false hand cut the wedding ring, and break it with a deep divorcing vow? I know thou canst, and therefore, see thou do it. I am possessed with an adulterate blot. My blood is mingled with the crime of lust, for if we two be one, and thou play false, I do digest the poison of thy flesh, being strumpeted by thy contagion. Oh, keep then fair league and truce with thy true bed. I live unstained, thou undishonoured.
Plead you to me, fair dame? I know you not. In Ephesus I am but 2 hours old, as strange unto your town as to your talk, who every word by all my wit being scanned, wants wit in all, one word to understand.
My brother, how the world is changed with you. When were you wont to use my sister thus? She sent for you by Dromio home to dinner.
By Dromio?
By me?
By thee, and this thou didst return from him, that he did buffet thee, and in his blows denied my house for his, me for his wife.
Did you converse so with this gentlewoman? What is the course and drift of your compact?
Guy, sir, I never saw her till this time.
Villain! Thou liest, for even her very words didst thou deliver to me on the mart.
I never spake with her in all my life.
How can she thus then call us by our names? Unless it be by inspiration.
How ill agrees it with your gravity to counterfeit thus grossly with your slave, abetting him to thwart me in my mood? Be it my wrong you are from me exempt, but wrong not that wrong with a more contempt. Come, I will fasten on this sleeve of thine. Thou art an elm, my husband, I a vine, whose weakness, married to thy stronger state, makes me with thy strength to communicate. If aught possess thee from me, it is dross, usurping ivy, briar, or idle moss, who, all for want of pruning, with intrusion infect thy sap, and live on thy confusion.